Okay, we're live. Here we go. Testing, testing. Today on Quality Time with Family Ties, we learn about sophomore slumps.
And in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to Quality Time with Family Ties. I am one of your hosts, Scott Jones. Joining me as always, Mr. Paul Packler. Paul, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. At the time of this recording, it is New Year's Day.
Yay! Is anyone hungover?
No, I'm old.
I didn't even have a bit to drink last night. Didn't even have a drop to drink.
Wow.
A drop to drink.
Did not have a drop to drink last night.
Not a drop. Corey.
Well, I indulge in my legal California medical substance.
Fair enough.
I did not have a drop to drink. Dad looked at me and she goes, "You're not having anything to drink?" I was like, "I may have a little something." I never did.
Wow.
It's like a reverse New Year's resolution.
Mm-hmm. I was definitely.
Happy New Year to you too, Corey.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, it's the end of a year for
Yep.
Family Ties.
Thank God.
Yeah, we need some new beginnings here, I'll tell you what.
We
You know,
do.
and all things being said, this was a very mediocre episode for this season. This wasn't bordering on okay. It was a little bit more acceptable to me than most of the season.
Yeah, I would give this like a C plus B minus.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it was just fine. It was right middle of the road.
Yeah.
I never wrote "shoot me," which is always a good sign. Sometimes I write "shoot me." Sometimes I write "fuck me," but it usually has something to do with this is being done to me. This episode is assaulting me in some way.
Shoot me or fuck me? Which one's better? Which one's worse?
I'm not sure. I mean, because the fuck me isn't really, beautiful woman coming to fuck me.
No.
Or like violent rape.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean. I'm being fucked by this episode.
It's like prison fuck me.
Right.
It's like Leo and a bear. It's that sort of.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel about it. And oddly enough, this episode didn't make me feel that way.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 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 It's. I hope that the writers of Family Ties on New Year's resolve to get better writers and better writing.
That would be nice.
That
What
would
the
be
staff
great.
is like next season. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'll kind of do a little recap at the end here. But if you're playing along at home, we are on Season 2, Episode 22, the title, Working at It. And right off the bat, we have talked a lot about where the hell does Elise work. We immediately jumped into her working at an office out of nowhere. And at this beginning of this episode, she's working in her kitchen. So this is the episode that tied those two together. Like, this is where we learn exactly where she started working at an office. So this seems like it was shot out of sequence.
I'm just as you were saying that, I said, "Oh crap! I should look this up to get the order right." And I'm looking right now,
Okay.
and wait 1 second. The shooting production code number for this episode working at is 30, and this is actually episode 44.
Okay, so they did shoot this out of order.
Right.
They had an order and just shot it whenever the hell they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never corrected the chronology of this.
Yeah,
Right.
because at other times, remember, in earlier episodes, she worked at an office that she made reference to.
Right.
Mhm.
And so I'm guessing this was shot before any of that sort of thing.
And we actually have gone from working in the kitchen to working in an office, because we commented upon that change when it happened, and now working back in the kitchen again, applying to work in an office.
Right, right. So this was the middle step that we never had addressed before. And and also the things that mark this timeline, Jennifer talks about going to school, and Alex makes no reference to being graduated,
Right.
and he looks a little bit younger. So, I mean, it looks like...
Mm-hmm.
It's the hair. Yeah. His
Yeah.
hair's not as feathered.
Right.
The reason, I'm just trying to wonder what would compel them to air this as the season finale.
That's weird.
Yeah.
The only thing I could say is there's a germ of a future storyline at the end of this episode.
Right.
But from what I can see on IMDb without watching next season, they don't actually go for that storyline that they so lovingly and specifically seemed to deliver to us, which is she has a new job working with Bill and whatever Karen, and she's hired, and they certainly developed Bill to be a relatively significant character during the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And Karen almost as significant, just not as personable as Bill.
Right. Now I'm looking again at the production codes on Wikipedia, and Baby Boy Doe, our lost episode about Skippy being adopted, was code number 45. So that was the last episode they filmed, and I'm sure by that point they had planned of it not being the final episode. But that could have been the final episode of the season.
Which, what a hell of a way to end a season with Baby Boy Doe.
I don't know. For me, I would have picked. Maybe we talk about this later when we talk about the season as a whole. But I would have picked like Alex graduating as the final.
That's what I was gonna say.
It sure seemed like that was the perfect one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the end of something, the beginning of something new. We're gonna see what Alex go off to college and all that stuff. Yeah, it shows the the future world for the show. But anyway, we start off in the kitchen, and Elise is working on her resume. She's getting ready to go back into the workforce. And one of the first things that I noticed is they cut to the kitchen table, and man, there it is.
The OJ. God bless you, OJ. Yeah.
Lots of OJ.
It's a bountiful amount of OJ.
Being poured lovingly into everybody's glasses.
Yes. No food on the plates.
Nope. But lots of OJ. OJ and the canisters of cereal.
Yeah.
We all go home from the supermarket and pour our cereal from boxes into canisters. Because God forbid anybody should walk into my home and know that my children eat Lucky Charms.
Oh, is that why they do that? So that way they hide them?
I don't know. It's not to cover anything up. I think they're doing it because they just don't want any product placement in those days.
No.
Yeah. There was that, but yeah, that is a very sitcom thing. You always see cereal and any kind of brand like noodles and stuff like that in canisters, and I don't know anyone that ever did that. Yeah. And here's something else I noticed. Elise has a 2-page resume.
On 3-hole punch paper.
On 3-hole punch paper. It may have been it kind of looked like we hear that there's 2 pages. It looked like there might have been 3 or 4.
It definitely. I thought it was kind of weird. Now, of course, it's not an actor's resume, so like real people can have more than 1-page resumes.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was the whole thing was sort of bizarre. Her energy was manic from the very beginning of this episode. And never really. I liked her in the episode, but I thought she was very manic. I thought it was sort of like she started at a 9. She was very tightly wound at the beginning of this episode, and it never got better for her.
Yeah. It feels like I'm a casting director, and I saw Elise, and she came in and was great, and then I brought her in for a callback with the director, and she is doing something completely different than I liked about her, and I'm like, what the fuck happened, Elise?
Yeah.
Because like in other episodes, I'm always like, I want to see more Elise, and now she's acting like a crazy person.
And it was weird because they sort of gave her on a silver platter a big Elise episode.
Yeah.
And giving her running the gamut of lots of different emotions at the expense of every other regular on the show. So really a good episode for her, and I'm not so sure, and I'm not blaming her either because I like her a lot.
Here's something I noticed. We talked a lot about how Steven isn't as progressive as he thinks he is, especially when it comes to women, and how the writing kind of reflects that. This kind of betrays Elise. When they make her this hysterical, it's kind of playing into that again. Like, she's not this strong, capable woman that we love.
Yeah. In fact, she needs someone to tell her what to do, is what the underlying...
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Also, this episode is a complete rehash. Like, they're already recycling plot lines. Remember? This is the same thing that happened, I think, in the final episode of Season 1, where she had so many things going on that Steven missed her. So it's like they're already recycling their season finale.
Exactly.
And they even went over that late in Act 1 on this. I think it's there's one more scene. It was in the kitchen. It was the 3rd scene before they went back to the office, where Mallory almost, what if I get the job and I'm too busy and I can't make you dinner and I can't pack lunches and I can't do this? He's like, didn't we do this? Didn't we
Yeah.
have a whole show about it? And now
Yeah.
you're reading it like it's just sort of like a little plot point. Well, it's a plot point that you spent 22 minutes on last season.
Mm-hmm.
You're rehashing it again.
You take last season's finale and add in a little bit of Lady Sings the Blues in this one, and this is the episode you get. That's the episode. And while Elise is working on her resume, I believe Alex comes in, and his advice is to don't tell them you're a woman. They really gave Alex a lot of
anti-feminist
yeah.
rhetoric.
Yeah.
But
they sort of made that almost like the whole point of this episode. That was their thematic thing, this feminist, I can do it all kind of thing. Can a woman really do it all? Can she really have a job and take care of her family all at the same time? Even when Steven is saying, but I do help out. I do a lot of stuff around here.
right.
The whole dynamic was sort of weird. By the way, in this first scene with the OJ, and thank God, I know it's happenstance that this is the last episode of the season, but we went back to Jennifer wearing overalls and Mallory wearing her puffy Little House on the Prairie shirt and just dressed horribly again.
And another thing, because that was the thing I was going to bring up next. Alex's jacket that he's wearing is too big. And like it's too big around his body, and then I looked at his arms, and he had those, like professor patches on his sleeves. They were down around his wrist because whosever jacket they just hemmed and cut. And
it was probably pinned when he was wearing it, and then they just pins out again. I'm sorry, Mike. It's a 38 long, but you're gonna have to deal with it.
I've done that so many times.
Yep. Costume. Yep. Us short guys, we get pinned into stuff an awful lot of times.
Why is your shoulder? Why is the cut for your shoulder all the way down at your elbow?
Yeah. Well,
halfway down your arm. Short guy problems. I thought that was really funny. All of and then they stuck him in that unfortunate football jersey later on in the show too.
Oh God, yeah, that was terrible.
Where he just looked terrible in that too. And then another weird costuming thing during this scene that's going on here with Mallory and Jennifer. Jennifer is standing with Steven. And I don't know if either of you noticed. At one point, she is. I don't know how to describe.
Oh boy.
He's thumbing his shirt. She's holding his shirt in her hands. It's the equivalent of a cat kneading you.
That's weird.
He has her thumb on Steven's shirt, and she's like manipulating the gingham shirt he's wearing in a weird kind of OCD. It's weird. It's really weird. I had to go back and look at it twice.
This is Jennifer doing this?
Jennifer's like, Steven's arm is around her, and she's like playing with his shirt with her. She's manipulating his shirt with her thumbs in a security kind of, like what a baby would do with a baby blanket, or it was really strange.
That's great, because I mean, I could imagine someone doing that in real life, but like an actor making that choice, you would think they would be.
I'm not so sure she was making a choice. I think it was something that poor teeny others had to do.
Just started doing.
I'm not sure that was Jennifer doing that.
I'm giving her way too much credit.
Yeah.
She's not good an actress.
Yeah.
She's not going to go that deep into the role. So we go to the office, and there's this weird.
Also, Scott, there's maybe you're just about to say. I'm sorry, but like there's an establishing shot. This is the second time that
that's what I was about to go.
any establishing shot.
Very unfamily ties to have an establishing shot.
Yeah.
We only had one other one, and that's when they went to the college.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this classic 80s saxophone that plays over it, which I loved. And Elise is in the office, and we meet Bill, who's wearing like this weird Hawaiian shirt. Let's talk about Bill.
Okay.
Bill annoyed me.
I liked Bill a lot.
You like Bill a lot?
I like Bill a lot. Now, it could be Susanna went to acting class, was in acting class with him for many years.
He looks so familiar.
And Walter Olkowitz, still alive.
Okay.
And Walter, this was one of his slimmer phases.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. He is an actor. Paul, you'd probably remember him. I think he was on Twin Peaks, right, Susanna? Yeah. You'd remember him from Twin Peaks.
He was one of the Canadian brothers.
Yeah. Is that Susanna?
Wow.
Wow. Oh my God, that's what I recognized him from.
But this was a slimmer phase. Walter has, I'd guess Walter has gone up to 350, maybe a little over 350.
Oh, man.
Susanna told me just recently she saw that he was crowdfunding for some treatment so that he wouldn't lose one of his legs to diabetes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
So I believe that's what's going on with Walter Olkowitz now. But he's, well, and he's almost 70 years old now. I liked him in this. I thought he was big and personable, and I thought they wrote him sort of funny.
It wasn't him that I was bothered with. It was the writing in the sense of characters that always annoy me are the ones that, like, they have too many jokes, and it's that kind of tick of they always have to joke when they're nervous about something. Like, every line is a pun or a quip, and it just got a little much.
Originally, they were going to spin him off, and then at the end, the only conclusion I could make by the end of this episode was that he was going to be recurring next season as she worked in this office, and that's why they wrote him so big.
Right.
It didn't happen, according to IMDb. So I have no explanation for why they wrote him so big.
Wow.
Because I mean, he's like the Skippy of this episode.
Oh, absolutely. They wrote a big character with a lot of dialogue who has a lot of stuff. I thought by the end of the first act, I thought he was going to get fired. It seemed like she was angry at him. Karen was angry at him one moment. And I thought, how I'm always projecting what the plot's going to be because I never know what the plot's going to be. And I thought, maybe Elise is going to be forced to fire Bill in the second act. Or Bill is going to lose his job right after he teaches her about the computer stuff, and then he loses his job, and she has to do the computer stuff by herself, which is sort of kind of what ended up happening, but having nothing to do with him. But it was weird. I just thought, wow, it's really a big character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's creepy. So, like, he's, like, funny-ish, and he's creepy as a character. Creepiness is his thing. Like, I don't know, he talks about, like, jerking off or something. He's just like, oh, I saw my girlfriend the other day, and she's like, oh, how's she doing? And he's like, oh, I don't know her name. I see her at the bus station, and I hump the chair that I'm on. And it's just like, what's going, like...
that was the thing with all his lines. It's like, that makes no sense. Like, it's not even a realistic, funny joke.
Yeah, it's a perfectly fine choice of a character, but, like, for this show, for the dynamic of Elise Keaton, it just doesn't work, and it makes him seem, like, I get that they're trying to make him, like, a party crazy guy, but it just makes him really off-putting, and you're just like, I don't know...
They turned him into Kramer, something that was like, totally Jim from Taxi, like he was an character.
But just his lines, that like the logic of the jokes felt like the same logic like you would see on a Disney show. Like, it's that weird, ridiculous.
It was pretty big.
Yeah. That big, yeah. But Bill is another architect at this office where Elise is going in for an interview, and we have Karen, the boss, comes out to talk to her, and she's very, very cold, very total, no nonsense. She immediately grabs Elise's resume. Elise is clearly nervous by her.
She's so no nonsense that she almost has a fake British accent.
Yeah, it kind of. She's very. Her enunciation is very, very good.
Yeah,
very, very clipped.
Very clipped. Yes, very clipped. And this is. We've talked a lot about the '80s audiences for these shows. The audience loved this episode. There is a moment where Karen says a line like, "We ask everyone, why do they want to work here?" And Elise responds with, "What did they say?" And the audience loves it. There's that one person in the audience that's laughing way, way too loud throughout the whole entire thing. It was really jarring, like, how much they like some of these lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Elise makes a comment about a building that she hated seeing torn down, and Karen is like, well, that was one of our projects. So all is not going well with this interview. And then we cut back to the kitchen.
Yeah, this episode, it moved. Like,
Mhm.
it just went from scene. It's like, we got what we needed, move on to the next scene. So I appreciated that. That it wasn't just like, some episodes are like 3 scenes and it just plods along.
Yeah. Yeah, there were no long, drawn-out monologues. Yeah.
Right.
It did move. And in the kitchen, Mallory's making a dress for Jennifer because she needs a dress for Chrissy's party.
Now, this pissed me off the whole episode.
The supposed alleged B plot?
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
B story is Jennifer is going to her best friend Chrissy, whom we never meet.
Never.
Some party. Here's the thing. Put on a fucking dress that you already own. Or
Yes.
You have to make a dress for a party.
Yeah. And this is Mallory, who loves clothing, and in
Yes.
this whole episode, she's completely incompetent. What the fuck is that about?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
At some down the line, Mallory will be designing clothes.
Yeah.
They reference it. She goes to school for
That's
it.
right.
She loves
Goes to
clothes.
fashion
Learns,
design
like,
school.
just the fact they couldn't even let her be remotely good at this is ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah, it was just for the sake of a B plot.
Now, this is where it gets crazy, guys. So the notes that I have are kitchen, bullshit, phone call.
Yep.
Elise runs over to the phone that it's from Karen at the office, and she's standing there talking to Karen on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, you could see this coming a mile away, couldn't you?
The board behind her has stuff on it. And so I'm so bored, R.E.D.
You're reading the stuff on the board.
There is a picture of Elise where she's been cut out, like her head's been cut out and put on a hula dancer. That's crazy as hell. And then, it's like something like some 80s punk band would have made on their flyer that was on a sign out in front of the grocery store.
Right.
And then there's a photo of Tom Hanks that I've never seen before.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's really weird. So that's it.
That is weird. What I found weird was the way this conversation went. Is because it was very, very quick, which again, this episode moves. But the conversation Elise has is these lines pretty much. Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. And she says it very downbeat. Then she hangs up the phone and says, I got the job. But if you were Karen on the other end of that line, would you be like, no, what I'm telling you is you did get the job.
Right. And then Karen would be like, do you have any questions? I'm going to need you to bring this in.
Yeah, right. When do you want me to show up? What do I have to bring? When do I start?
Exactly. There's so many details to go over that you can't just, for the sake of surprising your family, go, well, thank you for telling me, and then hang up.
Yeah. Like Karen's on the other side of the phone being like, listen, I'm going to ask you questions and tell you things that you'll just have to say one-word response so that way your family won't know how it went. And then she's like, women together, women with a Y, bye. And then she gets off the phone.
Karen wants to help her surprise her family.
Right.
Oh, that's great. So, yeah, Elise gets the job, and then we're back at the office, and Bill's there. He's working on a project that Elise is going to be helping him with. Basically, Karen comes out and explains that Bill is they're doing an office health club kind of construction. And Bill is doing the offices, and Elise is going to do the health club part of it. And again, Karen still really cold. And at what point, I wrote this down, at one point she says that Bill is actually a very excellent architect. But in this scene, she comes popping out with his drawings and basically say, Bill, this isn't what I wanted. It's the exact opposite of what I wanted. Which makes no sense.
Yeah, and you would think that they would have had meetings going into this, that he wouldn't just be left to his own devices and then given the final project, but who even cares?
Yeah, it's not that Bill even messed up on this, it's he did the exact opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
And he talks about that he was married twice. He goes, I was married once before. Well, twice, if you count my cousin.
What the? What?
Bill? Bill, do I need to get HR here? What's going on?
This is what I'm talking about when it comes to Bill. These jokes just are freaking annoying. And we're introduced to something that's a very big plot point with this is at this office there are like the latest technology machines for architecture, and Elise
Right.
Elise has no idea how to use them, nor is anyone actually offering to help her learn how to use them. It's just assumed that she's going to know how to do this, even though Karen knows that she hasn't been in an office in 12 years.
I just, so right after this moment, everyone leaves Elise by herself. Mm-hmm. She starts dicking around on the computer, and then it starts spitting out paper and making noises that no computer has ever made.
Right.
And it's all hijinks to commercial. But
and they have their act out, their Laverne and Shirley, Lucy Ricardo.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Just it's the candy with Lucy and Ethel. Yeah. It's trying to open a Murphy bed with Laverne and Shirley. It's the moment. Meredith is so good with the physical comedy. Let's give her a bit.
Yeah.
It's awful.
That doesn't.
It's so annoying too that it's like, my God, it's like watching you give a monkey a camera or something and be like, oh, let's see what it can do. Like, it's only 30 years ago, and having computers be such an alien concept to people looks so strange to me.
Yeah, I agree. I
mean, like, we're doing all this on computers right now, and it's so much more complex than it was then. But just that people back in the early 80s were so afraid of computers, it's really funny to see that dynamic play out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of my mom when she's near a computer. My mom really thinks any little button she presses is going to, like, destroy the computer. Like, she can't undo this. She won't be able. It's like she thinks it's a typewriter almost. It's like, I can't undo what I put on the computer.
Did she say that?
No, that's just how it seems.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
It's really funny. She's a lot better with it now, but anytime I'm home, I really have to navigate with her, and seeing her, like, approach a keyboard, there's just a lot of hesitancy, and really just she feels like if she presses something, she's not going to be able to undo it. And I have to show her, no, look, it's really easy. You just do this.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. And it just feels also like, again, with the character of Elise is someone who would want to do a good job. And for her not to even have the moment of, hey, can someone please show me how to work this machine?
Yeah, if she were like, hey, Bill, since you just admitted that you've committed incest before, here's the deal. Teach me how to use a computer, and I won't tell anyone in the police department that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how uncomfortable she might be with this, you have at least one employee there that has been friendly to you, that seems approachable despite the incest line, that you can be like, hey, can you show me how this thing works?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so we go out on the Lucy moment with the chocolate and the computer and all that. So let's take a commercial break here and come back.
Yeah, I'm going to start shoving these chocolates in my face.
Oh, my God, it's really noisy chocolate. We'll be right back. Where are you, Scott? Where is that?
This is my brother-in-law's place.
Oh, nice. It's cool.
They have a loft downtown.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's nice.
All right. Yeah. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. And we're back.
Yeah, those were good chocolates.
Cool story, Scott.
Thank you. Just like this episode, it was a bit that did not work.
Oh, wait, I'm going to get some more candy. I want some more candy.
Go for it.
All right. These are homemade.
Oh, you actually have candy.
Butterscotch cookies that my mom made.
Those are delicious.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here, I'll share them with you. Open your mouth.
Oh, oh, there you go. Delicious.
Mmm.
Oh, that's good.
So we're back in the living room, and Jennifer comes down with the dress that Mallory has made, and of course it's a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all over the place. The sleeves are too long. It's way too big. Elise is at the table, stressed, working on the plans for the health club, and she has like 3 different ideas, and she's trying to consolidate them into one good idea. There's a great, well, not a great, but a sexism line from Alex talking about how, because of, women trying to get into the workforce, you have all this stress, so you can't fight nature.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And Jennifer's being a little shit.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you haven't been home, and who's doing this or that? And, it's all
Which
the
they
same.
just had in the last episode.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is one of the things they flash back to for her diary episode.
Yeah. And, yeah. And then so there's this whole conversation. The kids leave, and there's this whole conversation with Steven and Elise. Basically, and kind of, again, Steven in the role of telling her and mansplaining to her, you're overworked. You need to talk to your boss about this. You're stressed, and this is what you should do.
This whole scene irritated me because she sort of kind of said at the beginning of the scene, Elise sort of kind of states, I'm trying to get this work done. And you can see she's got even more manic energy than she does at the beginning of the episode.
Right.
And it seems that systematically, each one of the members of her family comes over and tries to have a moment with her, annoying the shit out of her, when all she asked was for her to sit here in the living room and do some work while you all do whatever you all have to do. And even Steven comes over after she freaks out. Sits down and tries to have a reasonable conversation. And you wonder, why does she go fly off the handle by the end of the scene? Why does she have, for Elise Keaton, a nervous breakdown? Because these people they're annoying the shit out of her.
Yeah.
They're dragging her down. The Keatons in this episode are insufferable. They're almost like the family of the Tanners in Full House, where no one is allowed to reach for their dreams. Everyone is going to pull them back into the fold of, no, you have to care about me more than yourself.
Exactly.
Because, all she had to do was, for 2 weeks, be like, these 2 weeks, I have to get this project done. Leave me the fuck alone.
Now, and on top of that, she's starting a new job. Like, a totally new job. They can't give her any room to, adjust.
Right.
Despite the project, they can't give her any room to adjust.
Yeah. Now, I'll say this. She shouldn't be doing it in, the living room. I feel like she should have her own office. She should have, that drafting table in the kitchen that she usually works at.
Right.
So, she's not in harm's way, where it's like, I want to watch TV. That would have been the most,
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been reasonable for her to... I would have been annoyed if my mom were in the living room doing some big project and being like, everyone has to be quiet. And I'm like, well, then go do this somewhere else.
Exactly. I agree with you on that.
In the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Living room, common area. All right?
Right.
Yeah.
Alex, I have this project that I have to do. I'm going to do it in your bedroom.
Try and keep it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we cut to, it's the day of the office presentation. Bill is up pitching his plan for the offices to this really dick business guy. How many dick business guys have we seen in this season?
Mr. Halifax is a douche.
He is a douche.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every CEO on Family Ties, Gary David Goldberg just loved Clifford Odets. Everyone who wears a suit for a living is an evil fucker, which I'm on board with.
I kind of like that too. Yeah. And Bill is kissing Mr. Halifax's ass, and now it's Elise's turn to go up. and she still doesn't have like a very big consolidated idea. So she's pitching these 3 ideas that she has, wanting him to kind of see which one he likes best, which isn't a horrible thing to do.
I would be annoyed by that.
It's not a terrible idea. You give somebody who's hired you a bunch of options and say, I'm not giving you 40 options, I'm giving you 3 options. Take a look and see which one fits you the best.
Yeah.
Medium budget, low budget, high budget. There you go.
But he doesn't have time for that, Corey.
Oh, no, he's so busy.
Yeah. God forbid you look at 3 different plans for your health club. Yeah. Karen is trying to, kind of ease the tension, and she suggests that, Lise, let's put these in the computer, and then we can see them better and come up with a better idea. I don't know exactly how that would work.
Yeah,
What? Did they have a scanner at those days? Were they going to scan it in? How's that working?
They were going to have that little turtle make the text flash as they drew a square.
Yeah.
Like, that's how old this computer was. Putting it into a computer would do nothing.
It's like
Windows had been invented yet. It was like a DOS-based computer. It was just numbers and binary things.
Yeah.
All right, so Elise has to confess that she's been lying and does not know how to work the computer at all.
And she freaks the fuck out. She freaks out.
Yeah.
I would have fired her. Like, I would have written her a letter and been like, don't come back.
Yeah, I'd be scared for her to come back to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he said something really bizarre things. First of all, they make this. How was she hired? Was it affirmative action? Now, affirmative action, Paul, you probably can define that a little bit better for us.
Well, I mean, it was a part of what, like the Great Society and stuff like that, with the stuff that Lyndon Johnson did for anti-discrimination hiring practices. That affirmative action made quotas be a thing, so that way, because he used the analogy of, if you have someone who's been in chains for years and then you put them at a starting line of a race and expect them to run as fast as someone who hasn't, that's insane. And so affirmative action is trying to help level the playing field so that way everyone can be involved in the whether it be education or jobs or stuff like that.
But aimed at that time largely at lower income African Americans.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Having nothing to do with middle-income white women in Dayton.
Yeah.
That's what it struck me. It was like, I'm not really sure affirmative action has anything to do with Elise Keaton being hired here.
Right. That's true.
And then doesn't he say something really bizarre? Why would you hire that thing or something?
Yeah.
Something really dismissive and awful and diminishing, and like I would have punched him. And
yeah, and he's given no comeuppance for this sort of
No, they still kiss his ass and they still want to work with him.
Doesn't Bill have a moment where, now wait a minute, Mister? I better back down.
Yeah.
Wasn't it something like that?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
And Elise has this long-ass speech where she gets real victim-y about her life. I'm trying to make lunches for my 3 children and my precious husband who has to go to public television. You don't understand how hard it is to design a health club, let alone 3 health clubs, when I'm saying my kids, I can't possibly do this. It's like
this. I'm playing a violin right now.
You whiny woman.
Yeah.
It's totally out of character for you. You're a much stronger woman than that.
Yeah. And I don't give a fuck about your home life. This is work when you come to this is Paul Packler right now saying this.
Yeah, this is Paul. Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Work, you leave your shit at home. I don't want to hear it, and I'm not paying you to fuck up because of what's going on at home. Do your job, Elise.
Yes. You wanted this job. This is what it is.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a rogues gallery of people to hate in this episode.
You're right, including Elise.
Yeah.
It's just everyone
is doing terrible things in this episode.
Mm-hmm. And And so we cut back to the final scene in the living room. Lisa's laying on the couch with Steven, just knowing that, her job is over. She made a huge scene. And then the most bizarre thing, I've never, ever seen this happen, and I don't think it ever has happened.
I want to report this to HR right now. I think
right now, because Karen and Bill come over to
they
talk
show up
to her.
Unannounced.
Yeah.
Unannounced to her home.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Bill!
so strange.
Bill, who's
Bill!
not... isn't he a peer? Isn't he an equal, or is he a partner with Karen?
He's going to dinner with Karen for Mr. Halifax.
Yeah,
they share an office. Elise and Bill share an office. They have to be equal.
It's so bizarre. And only they just come over just to tell her, look, it's going to be okay. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Not like it's something that couldn't wait until either via phone call or have her come in and talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's so strange to come over to her home.
Yeah, they come in and they're like, hey, remember the last scene that just happened? That doesn't matter. And you know what? This whole episode is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, we don't think you're crazy. We get it. We know you're creative.
And then they're like, we're going out to dinner with Halifax, the douchebag business guy. But then why isn't Elise going?
Right! That makes no sense. She is constructing half of this office.
Right.
Half of the plan.
I mean, this episode, the first 5 minutes of our chat about this episode, it seemed like there were so many good ideas of places that this could have gone or things that it could have discussed or investigated, and it just, like, the plot doesn't make sense from one scene to the next.
And it's funny, we say it's a. After hearing us, you'd think it's an episode that we hated, and yet I didn't hate this episode.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. Well, that's just because we've seen so much bad this season. The bar is so low.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, like I said, B-, C+.
Mm-hmm. Well, I noticed, and the one thing I did notice when I looked up Walter Olkowitz to see how many episodes he did in the future, he did do 2 more episodes, but in each episode he's got a different character name. So he plays in this episode he's Bill. Later on he plays another, and by the way, 3 episodes over 3 years. He does an episode a year. 80.
I know who he was. I know one of the characters.
You know the name?
He was the janitor in the train station when Alex comes and kisses Tracy Pollan.
Wow.
Well, and he's either Walter Luskin or Howie, because he plays Bill, Howie, and Walter Luskin.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
So they liked him. They definitely wanted to use him. Hey, how often does somebody get used in 3 different characters on a sitcom?
That's crazy.
That's true, yeah.
So crazy.
A lot more likely in a soap than a sitcom.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that ultimately they wanted to maybe use these characters ongoing as recurring?
I guess maybe they were going to consider it over their summer break, and see what they wanted to do for the next season. It'd be very interesting to see what they do with Elise's career.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking
on
of
that
this,
note, let's talk about season 2.
Mm-hmm. The pain that was season 2.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was the worst season of a television show I think I've ever watched willingly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to go back and just, we have 22 episodes, and I'll just read the names of them and see which ones, if you even remember what they were.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1, Tender is the Night.
Is that's the lovely Talia Balsam, isn't it?
Yes. So that was a great episode. Amazing start.
Best episode that I've enjoyed.
Loved it. Yep.
The Homecoming.
Homecoming Dance?
That's the one. No, that's where Jeff comes back.
Oh.
Yeah. Jeff was just weird in that episode. Yeah. It had Jeff, so we hated it.
Yeah. The Harder They Fall.
Got nothing.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't remember that one.
Got nothing.
Not an Affair. Oh, I'm sorry. This Year's Model.
Hated that one.
Oh, that's the modeling, Jet. That's Mallory and Elise modeling.
Yeah. That episode was so insane. Now that I think about it, I kind of love it. I feel
It's in my top 3 of the ones I hated the most this season.
Yeah. Not an affair to remember.
Oh well.
That was it was so insane. I kind of loved it.
Yeah.
That's the old woman.
No, that's Judith Light.
Judith Light.
Judith Light as a.
She's the PA at WKS. At Steven's gonna cheat on Elise.
Oh, okay. Steven's gonna cheat with Judith Light. Okay, now I remember that.
Yeah.
Speed Trap.
Oh, the one with Alex doing speed.
Oh, Alex taking pills.
Yes,
yep, that was fun.
That was
just for nostalgia purposes. It was fun.
Then here's the low point of the whole season: Sweet Lorraine.
Mm-hmm. Paul threatening to punch me in the face.
Yes.
Yep.
Batter Up.
Oh yeah, that was.
Jennifer?
That was with Jennifer and Skippy's sister.
Oh.
And Alex is the baseball coach.
Right. Yeah.
This is a twofer. A Keaton Christmas Carol.
Oh God. Yeah.
I wonder if they do any other Christmas episodes after this.
Or they just finally give it up after
I hope they
bad
don't.
seasons.
To Snatch a Keith.
Oh God, yeah, that was good.
David Faustino is the after school special episode.
Oh.
The horrible monologue.
Birthday Boy.
Alex going to Virginia.
Virginia, sure.
Yeah. Crispin Glover in that episode.
Crispin Glover. That was our crossover episode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go Tigers.
What happened in that episode?
Who are the Tigers?
Is that the one where they went to go visit Jeff at Princeton?
Yes, Princeton.
Ah, Go Tigers. That's it.
Yeah, that wasn't horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it had that good scene between Alex and Mallory at the end of the episode.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very good scene.
M is for the many things.
Mother has to do with mother.
Oh, Elise's mom dating again.
Ah,
Hated that one. That was
dreadful.
Oh, that was a terrible episode.
That was a terrible episode.
Mm-hmm.
Say Uncle.
That's got to be.
Is that the Tom Hanks?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. What a terrible name for an episode. Oh, such a classic episode that you remember, and the title is completely awful.
Yeah.
Ladies' Man.
Alex must have 2 dates. Is that Alex with 2 dates?
I think that's the feminist one.
Oh,
yes,
the
that's when
ERS.
Yeah,
Equal Rights Amendment.
That wasn't that bad, if I remember.
That was a good episode.
That was fun. I kind of enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Ready or Not.
Having sex. Mallory having sex.
Mallory having sex.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Double Date.
2 dates for the for the.
The Southern Plantation prom. Yeah, that was bad. Yep.
Lady Sings the Blues.
God.
Oh, dreadful. Elise saying
Yeah.
that's bad. That was bad.
That's bad.
That was bad.
Baby Boy Doe, our lost episode.
Skippy's adoption.
Yeah, it was rough.
I feel like at the end of this entire show, once we're finished, we've done like the episode of that Nick pilot and stuff. Once we've done everything, we've exhausted all possibilities. We should go back and watch this with the eyes of all how bad the show gets by the end and all this. I think we should check it out.
I like that.
I feel like we'll love Baby Boy Doe by then.
We might.
The Graduate.
Graduation.
Yeah.
It was kind of ridiculous. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Diary of a Young Girl.
Oh, please kill me. That's a kill me episode, Jennifer.
That's a kill me episode.
Jennifer going backwards. Terrible.
Yep.
Oh man. So okay, and then obviously the one that we just did, Working at It. So Diary of a Young Girl, To Snatch a Keith, Keaton Christmas Carol, and Sweet Lorraine. Which one of those 4 do you hate the most?
Sweet Lorraine.
Sweet Lorraine.
I'm going back and forth between Diary of a Young Girl and Sweet Lorraine.
Yeah, I lean towards Sweet Lorraine just because it was so ridiculous and made no sense. And
it made no sense.
It made
at least Diary of a Young Girl made sense. It was a clip type show and all that stuff.
It was so heavily structured You know, there was a real structure behind Diary of a Young Girl.
Right.
There was no structure behind Sweet Lorraine.
Right. It was just random craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you won me over. Now, which one do you think is the best episode? So from that, we have like Tender is the Night, Say Uncle.
Tender is the Night is which one?
That's the season premiere with Talia Balsam.
Mm-hmm.
So Say Uncle, Ladies Man, and I think that's it. Oh, Ready or Not. Ready or Not. So Ready or Not, Ladies Man, Say Uncle, or Tender is the Night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Tender is the Night.
For me, it's Tender is the Night. With actually the Mallory episode, Ready or Not, to be actually a close second for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm the same. The first one is the best, and then that one is a very close second.
And it was due to both of them. Both Alex and Mallory were both excellent in that episode.
Yeah, the writing was great, and both of their performances were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it was especially in Tender is the Night, I just love the chemistry between him and Talia Balsam. It was really good.
Yeah.
Mm.
So going forward, I feel like season 3, like we were just saying, they put a bunch of balls in the air as with like regard to is at least going to keep working at this office with these characters. Obviously, we know they're not. Mm-hmm. But Alex going to college, Mallory's in high school, Jennifer's in school, Steven's still working at the thing. There's nothing really to look forward to besides the college.
No, they gave us nothing really.
Yeah. We don't know what. Yeah.
But I feel like season 3 is going to be better. We said that at the end of season 1.
I know. Well, season 1 we just said it's like okay, they're trying to establish some stuff. First season's always rough. Second season you're supposed to be way better than this. And third season is supposed to be like I feel like when you have your total confidence. Like, we know this show. Now we can challenge the world views of the characters and put them in more interesting circumstances, and we have the voices down pat. There just should be more confidence going into season 3 with the writing.
Yeah. I'm not sure that they do, though. I don't know if they have everything mapped out as well as they should. Yeah.
I know. Judging by this season, I don't think they do. So, we shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, we did it. Another season.
Season 2, down the memory hole. Now we can start to forget it.
Yes, thank God. Thank God. Well, for questions and comments, please be sure to email us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com. And you can also get updates on our Twitter account at Qtwft. We're also on Twitter. I'm at Follow Jones.
I'm at Paul Packler.
I'm at Corpep.
And be sure to like our Facebook page. We'd like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanboy Comics. Fanboy Comics is an online conglomerate of geek media providing its readers with daily insights and reviews of the pop culture spectrum. We also like to thank...
Whoa, what was that?
I lost it. I was doing it off the top of my head. Let me pick it up again.
Oh, Scott, you were looking down, so I thought you were reading. You really committed this to memory.
I know. I have most of this. I had this memorized. It's just sometimes I'm looking down, pretending like I have the words in front of me. It helps. All right. I'm going to pick it up. For questions and comments, please email us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com. And we're also on Twitter for all our updates. You can find us at QTWFT. We're also on Twitter. I'm at Follow Jones.
I'm at Paul Packler.
I'm at Corpep.
And be sure to like our Facebook page. We'd like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanboy Comics. Fanboy Comics is an online conglomerate of geek media providing its readers with daily insights and reviews of the pop culture spectrum. We also like to thank Perry Adams, who beautifully performs the theme song Without Us. Be sure to check out Perry's music at perryadams.net. We also like to thank Bryant Dillon. Bryant is the president of Fanboy Comics and also edits our show. We also lastly like to thank Sean Foster, who does Fanboy Comics artwork. He also designed our logo. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.